All right. Welcome, everybody, back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from Austin, Texas. And it's just me and Dakota this time. It's been a while since it's been just us two without a third. So let's see how it goes.
I'm okay with it. What's up,
More
everybody?
intimate.
Let's go.
What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in.
Rock, flag, and eagle. All right. Hope everybody enjoyed that new intro.
It looked awesome. Just watching it, I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, Dakota kept bugging me about it. He's like,
oh
we
my
got
gosh.
footage from Talladega. Put me in the fucking intro. He just wanted to see his face a whole lot.
The first time ever you listened to me.
Yeah, it turned out okay.
I like it. I mean, it's pretty sick.
So we got a new intro. We are decked out in our throwback gear for Darlington.
Throwback
this
ready,
weekend.
baby. I wish I was going. Oh, the
The
closer it gets, I'm like, why am I not at Darlington?
Yeah, got the throwback shades. You know, just everything throwback. We're going all out. And then on top of that, we also have a new sponsor.
Ooh, would you like to announce that?
Yes, we got a sponsorship with Yeti Coolers here in Austin, Texas, where they're headquartered, where I live and grew up. So that's really cool. I've had a Yeti forever, and they are helping out the show. So essentially, what you got to do if you want to help out the show, and you already bought our merch, which you should do first, is
definitely
go follow the link. I have it in the description of this video on YouTube. I don't know if it's on Twitter, but I'll put it there after the show. Just go click that link. It'll take you to their website. And if you purchase anything, then, we get kicked back and you'll help support the show. And I get a Yeti. So.
I need to like when I'm at work or something, like post up on my bumper and like pull something out of the Yeti and be like, Yeti, it keeps it cold or something.
Dude. Oh, we'll definitely have to make some content next race.
Yeah. Next race. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't send us anything necessarily for it. So yeah, I think we can just do whatever the hell we want. So we make some fun Yeti videos, maybe get some people buying Yetis.
Have a cooler like with like just water in it and just be like, what the hell? Throw it off the truck and then like pull a Yeti up, slam it.
Have like an igloo that we can just toss out.
Yeah.
With all the melted ice.
Kick it out. They're going down the road or something.
Not a bad idea.
That'd be fun.
So yeah, a lot of things happening here over at the podcast over at Chairgatin. So we're excited about it.
We're doing it, big boy.
I'm very excited about this week in NASCAR. Number one, it's Darlington. Always excited about Darlington because with Darlington, you get good races. With Darlington, you get throwback paint schemes. It's Mother's Day this year.
Dude.
Usually, I was going to say with Darlington, you get the Labor Day weekend race. Unfortunately, it's not the same this year. But on top of all that, we also got finally the reveal of the next gen cars. And I know somebody leaked the images, but let's be honest, that was grainy.
I saw the leak and I was like, ooh, don't look. I never even looked at it.
I was like, I'm not going to lie.
I don't want it to be ruined. I didn't want it to be ruined. And I just scrolled. Every time I saw someone share it, I just scrolled.
I looked. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't help myself. I looked and I studied that thing, zoomed in. It was a shitty photo though. So even when they did do the reveal,
it was like the Bigfoot photo in the 50s. Like,
right. It's like a UFO photo, the real grainy shit. So yeah, even when I saw it after seeing the leaked photos, I was still like, damn, that's badass.
Dude, I was so nervous. I was like, because, we lived through some Car Tomorrow era, and I was,
right.
We know that. And I literally, I had an idea of what the cars were going to look like, and I'm like, please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck it up. And I was honestly nervous, like, dude, I'm scared what these cars are going to look like. And then after the reveal, I was like, I remember I was at work, like, all right, tune in at 3. And then we got busy working. I looked at my watch. It was like 3:20. I was like, shit. I got on my phone and scrolled real quick. And I was like, I looked, dude. They looked so freaking good. I was just like, holy crap. NASCAR has hit this out of the park. I can't believe how good it looks.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it. Out of the 3, which one's your favorite?
So, I mean, I've always been a Chevy fan. So it's hard for me not to go Chevy. I think every person out there is first and foremost going to go with what manufacturer they've always been with. But I feel like the most I'm hearing is people saying the Ford looks the best.
See, now you would think being the Kevin fan, I'd be leaning towards the Ford. But I think the Chevy looks the fucking cleanest.
Thank you. I'm like, am I crazy? Am I just so biased?
So mean. Now, the Ford looks amazing. The Ford is sexy as hell too, but I think the Chevy just looks fucking badass, dude. Now, I mean, they all three look great.
They all look good.
I think the Toyota is kind of like, yeah.
Let's be honest. Even Toyota fans, I think, are like, nah, shit. All right.
Yeah, like, dude.
I mean,
the Ford,
what are you gonna do?
Especially when they parked. I loved how they brought out the Camaro and the Mustang side by side and the Camry. Like, they were like, this is the show car. This is your new race car. Like,
right.
It looks sick. And the wheels, man. The one lug, I get it. I was really skeptical. Like, God, why? You'll just keep 5 lugs. But the wheel with the new car, dude, it looks badass.
It does look like futuristic. It looks like not even futuristic, just modern, I guess you would say.
Yeah, cool
futuristic's the wrong word. Modern is the best way to put it. It just looks like it's stepped into 2021. Like it's like a normal, a new model of a 2021 vehicle. You're like, that's a new car. That's what that looks like.
Is like they're leaning towards this direction and step of like, we want to modernize and open our doors up to, maybe new OEMs to come in. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And like the package, whatever. I was like, so does that mean OEMs are coming? So like, what if no new, manufacturers come in the sport? Then what do we do any of this for?
Well, yeah. And I think that's just always their hope. I don't know if that means anything's coming because they've been saying that forever, They're always like, well, just in case. And it's like, I think it's just, they always want that option there because they hope that it happens. I don't know if that means anybody's even in talks. Remember when everybody said like Honda was coming in and I've just heard so many different rumors about that I'm just like, I'm done with them until I hear something a little bit more concrete.
I just I would, especially with these freaking cars and bodies, I'd love to see Dodge come back. And I know it's like a long shot and they're done with it or whatever, but I would love to see Dodge come back, especially if they ran the Charger with like looking like this and shit.
Right. Dude. So my thing is, I don't understand why Dodge is like forever gone. Everyone's like, Dodge is gone. They're never coming back. Let's get over it. I'm like, but why? Why? I mean, it makes perfect sense. It's the marketing. It's the demographic for Dodge. They sell muscle cars still. They created a separate brand just called Ram. It's not even Dodge anymore. Like, so the truck series, everything, like it makes perfect sense for Dodge to be in NASCAR.
Well, that's another thing. They had a Ram commercial like in the truck race. It was kind of like, well, this is weird. I miss Dodge. I mean, me being a Dodge guy.
When they have Ram commercials, it blows my mind because I'm like, so they're advertising to the NASCAR audience, clearly.
It was total clutch to Brad win the championship in the Dodge and then be like, mic drop, peace, we're out. But really, man, I always loved Dodge. I remember at one, like, I loved, like, it was like 06, 07, 08, like Casey Kane and the Dodge 9. Like, I was a Kevin fan, but I was like, man, I love that car. Casey was killing it in 06. I was like, dude, like, I could lean that way.
Oh, yeah. There was some awesome Dodges, 100%. Just like Ford and Chevy, there was really cool paint schemes for everybody, good drivers in each. Obviously Dodge would be a grand slam if they ever came back. I don't know if they will, but I'm not one of those people that's just like, oh, they're never coming back. It's over.
How dare you? I know everything.
Right. I just don't get that either. I'm like, why wouldn't they ever come back? It seems like they should. But business decisions
on these new cars that we saw. And I mean, I know each three is different, but they all kind of got the same concept. What was like the biggest surprise to you that you saw? Like, you were like, whoa, yes, I love that. Like, yes.
So I'm going to get more into like any other changes they made, like aero package and stuff like that. But just based off like when I saw them getting rolled out, I think the thing that really stuck out to me was like how much they actually are trying to make them look like stock cars again and how they actually look different. I looked at each one and I was like, they're each a little different. Like I can tell that's a Chevy. I can tell that's a Ford. I can tell that's a mom car. So that was really cool to see. I was like, they're not just doing a universal car.
one thing that's got me super curious is the rear bumpers. You see how the curves the rear bumpers are, and they look real.
I don't
What
know
are we
about
what
that.
are we doing when we go to Daytona and Talladega?
Right. I don't understand that
That's not
at
gonna
all.
work.
I thought the same things. I saw somebody point that out on Twitter, and I was like, "Yeah, wait, what the
No, they
fuck
look
is-"
good, but that's not
It
gonna
looks
fly.
cool, but yeah, you can't.
I wonder.
You can't do that.
You know how they kind of have like the speedway package is different. The cars slam. The rear bumper's like this much higher, and the front bumper's a lot more flat. There's more room to push. I wonder if they'll do like a little, I don't know, try to mold it a little more to where it's a little flatter just for those packaged races or something.
And if that's the case, that's kind of lame,
Yeah, I'm more like, hey, bump at your own risk then.
Yeah.
It'll definitely. Well, now that we got the OEMs too, or I mean, like they've debuted them, and now we can go further with tests. Woo! Now we can go. Now we can go do tests and like get all three out there. Have multiple drivers, get multiple cars on track.
Right.
And
know,
we can go ahead and get some info. I think one of the best things. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I really kind of like the dual exhaust. I think it's kind of sick. And I've seen some of the testing videos where it's like, dude, that sounds mean. And I've seen some. I think it was the Darlington test where I was like, what the hell is that sound? But I also like the independent rear suspension. Like that, these cars are going to drive like completely different than anything we've seen like forever.
Yeah, because they can just like make adjustments on the fly, right?
Hell, I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure they can literally in pit stops like make the adjustments just by cranking up the car real quick and then like hooking it up.
But I mean,
neither of us are mechanics. If anybody,
Nathan, our crew chief over here, he'll probably chime in here. In a second
of course. He's
on
Google right now. Dude, we should just have Nathan be part of the show, and he can be like our fact checker. Mm-hmm. He'll just like,
I'm telling you, we gotta get him
looking up every single thing we're saying.
He will correct you and let you know how wrong you are on.
I'm pretty sure that allows them to make adjustments like on the fly. I think that's
What then? They got a transaxle in the front, larger brakes too. Like, how's that going to affect us going to Martinsville? I imagine they're like running Martinsville brakes everywhere.
The one thing that kind of scares me is a lot of these adjustments. I'm like, I could see that really affecting the racing at road courses, and we've seen NASCAR's interested in continuously adding road courses. And so that's my only concern is like,
I think these cars are going to probably, with the, all four wheels having suspension, they're probably going to handle a hell of a lot better.
They will.
They're going to make the corner.
Right. And so what I'm concerned about is NASCAR's like almost too much focusing on creating a car that's for road course racing.
Yeah.
It reminds me almost of the, like, what is that? The Australian supercar series.
Yeah. Supercars or V8.
The cars kind of look like them. Like, it's starting to kind of feel like that, which is cool series. Right.
Yeah,
those are cool series.
But how far are we going to go with it?
That's my concern. It's, I'm excited because the cars look fucking cool. No doubt. But I'm just a little concerned of the trajectory that NASCAR is taking this.
And again, like with this too, I feel like there will be teams that knock it out of the park, and there will be teams that are so lazy and screw their fans over. There will be teams that make new paint schemes to mold to this body and this car, and it's going to be sick, new, fresh paint schemes. And there's also going to be teams that are like, yeah, we're just going to put the same paint scheme we've ran in the last 2 years on this car. And it's like,
do you think that'll affect it? I feel like you have to do a new paint scheme because the body's completely different. So I feel like everyone's going to. I think everyone's going to do new paint schemes. I mean, I don't see that being an issue.
I doubt the 22 does. I mean, they're just stuck on the Pennzoil. And it's because some of these paint schemes, too, it's like, well, in 10, 15 years from now, we're going to be like, dude, I miss that paint scheme. That car was sick.
Right. That's what I was just going to say is.
There's some where I'm like, all right, dude, you've ran it a couple years. Let's do something else.
I think the 22 should keep that paint scheme. I don't like when they mix it up. I like when it just is the same fucking yellow and red and white paint scheme I'm used to, and I think they should keep that paint scheme.
Joey Logano. That's Joey Logano.
Right. And I think they should keep that paint scheme going into the next gen. Just, obviously make sure it fits the shape of the new body or whatever.
I just think this will be a cool opportunity for teams to like, hey, we can come out swinging in 2022.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the hype is there. Yeah, the hype is there. Like everyone's excited about this. And it's kind of funny that they released that on Throwback Week.
Yeah,
like
it's kind of weird timing. Yeah.
We're only concerned about like old paint schemes right now, and they're like, "Here's a brand new car. You haven't seen one in forever. Here you go."
It almost makes the weekend even bigger too, because like,
it does.
Look how much more like they have to talk about going this weekend. Not only do we have a race, throwback schemes, and we have a triple header this weekend, but hey, there's like an hour worth of new car stuff to talk about.
Exactly. So what I wanted to discuss, I know we've kind of like been going over it broad, is the good, the bad, and the ugly with this car. And there's a lot good with it. So you can list off a couple things, but I'd be interested. It can even be speculation, of like maybe concerns that you have. Do you want me to go, or do you have anything in mind?
Well, one thing I'm seeing I like, but then I'm also like, what the hell does this mean? Is they got different splitters. A step splitter, I guess that's raised higher, maybe better for grass contact. And I saw that the ride height's going to be higher. Love that. Like, bring me back some 07.
Is it? Because it looks like it, but I also read that it's not.
I don't know. I'm only going off the boom, bam, bam they showed.
Yeah, because I read an article.
It says the ride height was going to be higher next year.
Okay. I mean, that would be awesome. But then I read an article that they were like, no, they're actually like lowering it. And I was like, I don't know how you're going to lower it.
They look mean either way, but like more for like, I want to see the car come up off the track and then sink down in the track in the corner.
Right.
I want to see that. I was so like I said earlier, I was so like, why are we going to one lug nut? I don't like change.
All right. So what is your good? What is your good?
Good. I'm going to say, I think it's ride height. I'm thinking
right height. Okay. If we're right, if it is raised, which I'm not sure about. And then what's your bad?
Well, that's what I was about to step into is like, I'm not even like fully bad on it, but I still wish we just had 5 lug nuts. I'm not 100% on the 1 lug nut. I get it. The wheel's cool, safety, whatever you want to call it. But I like 5 lug nuts. I like pit crew's got to hit all 5, man. Like that tire changers, that dude's got to be on it. If he misses one, there's a penalty. There's chance for gossip and drama in the race. Loose wheel. Oh my God, I got to come back. Now it's like, I'm pretty sure if they have a loose wheel on one lug, they're screwed. But I don't see that happening as often. Another little add-in I'll put in the middle is, I think, they're going to have a little smaller spoiler. And I do like that.
So is that back to your good?
It's in the middle. I'm doing a good, bad in the middle. I do that in there.
All right. What's your ugly?
The Toyota.
Nice. That was the best response. All right. Here's my good, the bad, and the ugly.
All right.
And we've discussed pretty much all these, I think. The good, obviously, the design of the car. It looks awesome. I like how each of them look different. The design, they knocked it out of the park. It is the best looking car I've seen in a long time from NASCAR. Also, the body. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they changing it up to like a carbon fiber body?
So they're doing the composite body or whatever, like Xfinity runs. You notice how in Xfinity races these days, they can smack the wall and keep on going like they take a licking. But now, so they've been talking about it for years, but now I guess they've been waiting for this. So they're going to run composite bodies where, like, if you smash that right rear corner panel, you can just about pop it off and put a new one on or something like that.
Yeah.
But also less in. I mean, it still happens with the Xfinity composites, but like, if some guy hits you, it's not immediately cut tire, like, your day's ruined. Like you can see Xfinity series, dude. They body slam each other, smack the wall, keep trucking, they get faster. Like,
so this is great. This is awesome that Cup Series is moving to this.
I'm all for it. The composite.
Yeah, clearly NASCAR was listening to the fans. I think every fan has been like, make it more like Xfinity. We like Xfinity. So that's good. And then also I was reading, there's like this universal like under tray now to where it's going to save money for every single team. Like the small teams used to have to work on their aerodynamic underneath the car, like individually. And it was like an extra cost. And so essentially they're trying to eliminate it and make just one universal like undercarriage to be aerodynamic. And so I like anything that's going to save the team's money. Like
Now,
if that's in there, I'm like, boom, I like that.
I still feel like the cream will rise to the top. Like you're gonna have your Gibbs and Hendricks
Of
spending
course.
as much money as they can to get any little edge testing, wind tunnel, whatever.
Of course, yeah.
You're still gonna have those teams spending the money to get the edge. But and I'm also curious is like they're saying so like one company is building all the chassis and the cars and the teams can they get the cars from them and then they can make adjustments or whatever.
That's
but it's
what
like
I understand. Yeah.
everybody's getting the same greenhouse car. Like, hey, y'all got the same shit. You got to figure out how to make it go fast. And I'm kind of like, ooh, level the playing field. But I'm also like, these guys, how smart these teams are. They're still going to be Gibbs, Hendricks. I would say SHR, but not as much them.
Yeah, not right now.
There's still going to be those teams up front that were up front before. I'm curious to see like what driver this can maybe adapt to. Like, Michael McDowell's been plugging it off this year, but like, what if like all of a sudden he comes to life in this new car and he's a threat every week? Or like, what if Austin Dillon's like, dude, this is all he needed was this car. Like it fits his driving style. And now like he's just knocking them off. Like,
yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I think essentially I agree. I want to see them level the playing field as much as possible. The big teams are inevitably going to rise to the top. But it got so out of hand in NASCAR for a while. It's better this season for whatever reason. But it got so out of hand that you would take a very talented young driver, and depending on what team he gets put on, it could ruin his entire career. You know what I mean? And he just never gets another chance because his career's ruined because he didn't get one of the like 6 to 8 cars.
John Hunter Nemechek taking a step back, going back to trucks. To start
exactly.
Over.
And I don't like that. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever we can do to try to make it to where if you're in the Cup Series, you got a chance. It's like college football and college basketball. In college football, if you're not in the Power 5 conferences, you essentially won't be playing in the national championship. In college basketball, everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
Regardless of how small your team is. Stephen F. Austin, the D2 school out in Texas, has a chance to go make it to the championship game. They're probably not going to do it. But I just like the idea of like everybody having a solid chance. And lately in NASCAR, the past couple seasons, excluding this season for whatever reason, it got like that. And it wasn't fun. You would see this, you would be following this up and coming driver through, ARCA, maybe dirt, into trucks, into Xfinity. And you're like, this guy's killing it. I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he gets put on a shit team. And you're just like, well, there's his career. Never mind.
Yep.
Like I'll never see him again. I'll probably see him in a Daytona 500 in a random car in the backfield that he never gets exposure for.
Well, even through the series, is like you've seen a couple times is some guys can, they start in the truck series and they're okay, this young talent, but then they go to Xfinity series and all of a sudden they're knocking them off. Key instance, Harrison Burton. He raced for KBM and trucks and he was like so. He was supposed to be awesome, but like they weren't getting all the wins. He does a couple Xfinity races. He's getting top 10 every week. Now he's going full-time Xfinity. He's like 4 wins from last year. And it's like...
Thank you, Nathan. Look at that. Great example.
Great. Nathan, stay on the keyboard. It's like, all kinds of guys get shots or cup opportunities, and then, they just dwindle and disappear. I mean, we know who those guys are.
We know the guys, unfortunately. But yeah, I agree. I mean, anything that can help level that playing field to where a talented young driver can get put on a random team that maybe doesn't have as much funding, but because the cars are a little bit more level playing field, he has a shot. I mean, can you imagine every single week these small 1-car teams actually having a shot to like win a race? Not just like, oh, they might get a top 10 or a top 15, which would be huge. They go out there and they might win a race. Right.
Yeah.
Depending on the quality of the driver. And if he's good enough, he'll probably get picked up at a bigger team. That's inevitable. But at least he had the chance, to move up.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'm all for like, well, even being a Kevin fan last year, it was awesome seeing Kevin win all these races. But Kevin Denny, Kevin Denny, I was like, dude, let's get some other winners. I want to see 16 different winners every year. I mean,
that's why I was saying, excluding this season. This season, for whatever reason, has really been working. I don't know if it's completely staged. I don't know if I'm like in the Matrix and I'm just asleep this whole time. For whatever reason, it's been working this season. I'm loving it. So yeah, anything with this new car that's going to push us in that direction, I'm a fan of. Anything that's going to help that. Moving on to my bad, though. It's not my ugly, but it's my bad, is the horsepower. Is we did not get the increased horsepower.
Yeah, that's probably been my bad. I totally was blacking out.
Right. We did not get an increase on the horsepower. It's disappointing. It's not ugly because it's not like they limited it. They didn't bring it down at all. It's just kind of the same. I would have loved to have seen the horsepower go up. Best season ever. Yep. I would have loved to see the horsepower go up because the funniest part is that, we have the best drivers in the world. You heard me, Colton. The best drivers in the world in these stock car race cars. And yet I could go down to my Chevy dealership. Granted, it would have to be, the top of the line Camaro, but I could buy a Camaro off the lot with more horsepower than they have in NASCAR. I could go buy a Mustang, a Shelby GT 500 with like 200 more horsepower than anything in NASCAR.
Yeah, and like me and Nathan have had this argument a dozen times, but like
I'm sure he's a Camry fan, so he probably wants it down to like 250. He's like, whoa, guys. I'm taking my kids to soccer, it gets a little out of hand.
I want to see a snarling hellhound ripping off pit road, fucking ripping the wall, shredding tires. Yeah, I want this thing to be as fast as fucking hell. Right. Can't even keep the tires on it. Just fucking racing fuel and rubber, baby. And I get we're taming them down to entertain other, manufacturers coming in, but to me, I'm like Toyota. That's not what got us here, dude. I mean,
right.
I want to see this damn bloodthirsty beast of an engine. Like the guy can barely hold it straight. But
it is like if Dodge came back in and put a Hellcat out there, those things. Have you seen those things?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Well, we might as let's just start racing V6s. Just fuck it. We're gonna start.
It's getting to that point. And so I guess one thing I did want to mention that for whatever reason I have written down was I'm excited that although they are limiting the horsepower, I'm very excited that it did not go like hybrid or something, because I don't know if you remember, but that was rumored for a long time that in 2022 or whatever, NASCAR was going hybrid.
Well, I still think it is a rumor, for the future, like next couple of years or so, is like a hybrid engine, fuel, whatever. But hey, we're going to be racing sedans. And that's one thing I loved about the Camaro and Mustang coming over. It's like, okay, finally, we're racing race cars, not racing.
Nathan, stick to your European racing. We're going to talk about American racing here.
It's like arguing with a 2x6. But, I want to see race cars. I don't want to see minivans.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's still, I guess, rumored, but I was just a little nervous that they were gonna roll out this badass looking car, and then they're gonna be like, by the way, under the hood, V6 hybrid engine or some shit, And so I'm just happy that we're not there yet. When they get there, that's when I don't care what you want to call me. I've been insulted a lot from the NASCAR community, and when they go hybrid, I might leave the sport. I mean, I think that's kind of where I have to draw the line in the sand and be like, I don't want to watch a hybrid.
How dare you, sir? Well, one thing that really killed me, with the current package too, was like to me, there's Cup, Xfinity, and trucks. That's kind of how it goes. When the truck and Xfinity cars and trucks were going faster than the Cup cars, I was kind of crazy. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Why? Here? Yeah, why are the best drivers in Cup then?
It doesn't matter speed, the race, and this and that. It's like, no. The Cup cars is supposed to be elite. This is it. You made it.
Right.
Well, why is Xfinity harder to drive and goes faster?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm with you 100%. I mean, I think when that comes around, if they go hybrid, I'm just going to be like, well, I'm just going to start going to local dirt tracks or something, I don't think I could.
Even when they went to electronic fuel injection, all the old heads were like, "This ain't NASCAR. This is bullshit." Carburetors, and it was like, dude. I mean, they're still cars, but it's like, I mean, I'll be here until I die, but it's just.
Will you watch NASCAR if they go hybrid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The thing is, it depends what they sound like, and it's how fast they're going. If the cars are going by going, I can't do that.
Yeah, what if NASCAR, this is completely hypothetical, I don't know if they would ever do this. What if NASCAR goes 100% electric, like Tesla's out there, will you still be watching and cheering on NASCAR?
I'll probably go watch drag racing.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I wanted that sound, baby. Yeah, I'm with you.
One thing that kills me too is you see the complaints where like the cars are too loud.
This is just sad, Nathan.
Yeah,
this is the attitude I don't like in NASCAR. I'll never stop watching NASCAR because I'm like, okay, so you're just gonna let NASCAR essentially get away with whatever they want, and you'll still support them.
You can feed me shit, I'll still eat it.
Exactly, that's crazy. I hate that attitude. It's like, no, I have a limit of what I'll put up with. Right. I'll go find another fucking racing series if I have to. I mean, I have at a certain point I'm done.
I don't know, man. I'm my whole thing is like I've got 20 years in the book span. Like I'm too far gone. But then also,
yeah. So is your vacuum.
Yeah, formally. But
so is your mom's vacuum. It's louder than you think it is. Those cars literally sound like vacuum cleaners going around the track.
When people are like, the cars are loud. I can't stand it. I can't take my kids because it's loud. I was like, dude, they make headphones. They make scanners. Like there's all kinds of noise canceling things. Have you ever
been to like a monster truck rally?
Dude, I want to.
Those things are badass.
The vibrations, of the cars. Like I want to feel it. I want to smell it. I want to hear it. I don't want I don't want RC car racing. And
so that was why I wanted to mention that is a good thing. Although I said horsepower was a bad thing, it was only because they didn't increase it. But it's not the ugly. It's just bad because at least they've kept it the same. Like, it could get a lot worse from here.
When they start, we're introducing Honda and the Honda Civic, and we're going to downgrade to 200 horsepower.
Hey, if NASCAR wants to start a separate, like, electric series, like Formula E.
Go do it. Yeah, that's
fine. It. Totally cool. And everybody that's NASCAR fans that's cool with that, y'all more than welcome. Enjoy that content. I just don't want you to fuck with...
more than I watch iRacing.
Yeah, probably. I would give it a try. And you know what? If I'm wrong and I'm like, you know what? I actually really enjoy this. Then I'll bite my tongue. And by that time, it'll happen in NASCAR. But yeah, start a whole separate, they have NASCAR in Mexico and NASCAR in Canada. They have all these different leagues and series. Just start a separate thing.
Hell,
put it all out in California. They'll eat that shit up.
Hell yeah.
Put it in Austin. They'll eat it up here. It's like the #1 city for Tesla.
They'll sell out.
Yeah. So the ugly was this is probably controversial. The single lug nut. It doesn't look ugly. I agree. It looks actually badass. The car looks cool with the single lug nut.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea that it's starting to diminish the importance of pit stops. I don't like that. I'm always like, that's what makes NASCAR really cool. It separates NASCAR from a lot of other racing series is the importance of your pit stop and how quick you can get in and out. And you get pit crew that like is worth more money because they're quicker. They're better,
Pun intended. To me, it takes the nuts out of NASCAR. it takes the nuts out of Facebook
group did you see that meme at?
It just rolled off the tongue. Dude.
No, it did not.
Yes,
you definitely saw that.
No,
some boomer NASCAR Facebook
made that
page.
Up.
There's no way. If you just made that up, I'm creating that meme tonight.
Dude, and
you're gonna post it on whatever Facebook page you're part of.
No,
and they're gonna eat that shit up. Oh, they're gonna eat it up. We'll put Chairgatin on it and everything. Oh, I'm making it. That's so good. If you actually made that up. That's very good.
But that cracked me up. I like I was saying earlier. I want to see.
I've seen this that like they had to. I don't know if that's still. I don't know if that's really the case. Let's be honest.
Are we bringing OSHA into NASCAR racing now?
I think I understand. I understand that it's safer. I understand that it can handle more of like the clamp is better for the load. All that stuff. That's great. You didn't have to. You can design the car however you want to design the car.
Choose your words wisely.
Right. You don't have to do that. You could design it differently. So I get all that, and it looks cool. I just don't like anything that's going to diminish the importance of pit stops. I think that makes NASCAR very individual from other racing series. That's one of the main things, in my opinion. No, I don't know any other racing series that pit stops are that important.
Yeah.
I mean, you ever watch like, even like IMSA or any of that. They just kind of like walk around. they just take their time.
Guys like, give me a slushie, and they're
right.
like,
They're just taking their time.
yeah. That's a whole team effort, man. And I know you're still gonna have like, well, who can get the one lug off fast enough? But still, it's just like zoom zoom. Like, I want to see the room for error.
Theoretically, I could get it off just as fast as any other person. It's all just about how quickly you put it on there. With the 5, that took real. Did you ever do that challenge at like a race?
Yeah, go and see how fast you are.
Dude, it's difficult. That's because you have to go ding, 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 like hit every single one perfectly. Like that's a very challenging skill. Yeah. Something that's very valuable in NASCAR. And so if you have guys that can do it very well, you want to pay them more because they're going to get you in and out of the pits quicker. You're essentially eliminating that. You're eliminating the importance of pit crews and pit stops.
Well, one thing they were mentioning on Door Bumper Clear this week was saying, yeah, we got one lug nut now. What's really going to stand is who can get around that car the fastest. Like, yeah, okay, one lug, but who agility-wise, who can get around the car the fastest, and the fuel guy. Who can get that fuel in and out the fastest? Because you're going to be waiting on fuel. You know, we're not worried about lug nuts now anymore. It's about who can get around fastest and who can get fuel in and out. And I'm sure.
Yeah, but isn't that the same? Isn't that the same skill level as the one lug nut? Really?
Yeah, but I mean,
you just go.
Yeah, but
go.
But I'm saying like they're talking about like they might come up with different ways or different kind of clamps or clevises for gas cans. Like whose fuel can siphon fuel the fastest.
But they're all the same.
If you bring 10 things to the track and hope they only catch 3. I'm saying who's going to be cheating?
Okay, yeah, cheating. That's a whole different. But you can't really like plan a sports league based on like who's going to be cheating. You have to like base it off of like here's the rules.
Have you seen some of these like Rick Ware car teams and some of the like Gibbs teams? Like who's going to be more athletic? Who's going to be getting around the car faster? Yeah, we can all hit one lug, but who can run faster?
Yeah, but that's already something that like you have to concern yourself with. That's why a lot of these like high level NASCAR teams have been hiring like college football players, right? That didn't make it to the NFL or whatever. They make like
come here, boy. We got a job for you.
Well, they pay him like $100K, right?
Oh, I think they make good. I mean, as somebody who was almost going to be on a pit crew one time, I think they make pretty good. I mean, if you're on Noah Gregson's team, you get paid all the time.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure I looked this up and like cup tire changers make like $100K. I was like, holy shit.
I'm pretty sure it's like,
but I mean, it's a very small amount of people, Yeah,
like if you work for Penske, you're doing pretty good.
Right. You have to think about the amount of people that have been doing this job for a long time with the amount of actual jobs that are going to pay that much.
If you work for like Ganassi, you're probably got like a side gig.
So my point is you just eliminated the importance of that. And that's what I don't like. It's like the Cup Series had the elite guys, like the best in the world when it comes to changing tires. They are the quickest. And now you're just like, you're not as important. It's like they're not gonna like they'll keep around those guys, but it's not that job loses its importance over time.
Right. Well, hell, as we talk about the new and old, we need to roll right back into Darlington, boy.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I'm saying this week has been wild that they released the new car on the throwback weekend. That was our good, the bad, and the ugly about next gen. I think everybody's excited about it.
Throwbacks.
I think everybody's excited about it. At the end of the day, it looks badass, and we're optimistic for like the first time like that I can remember in a long time.
I was not disappointed. I was really worried I was gonna be like, what?
I haven't seen anybody really disappointed. So
no, it's sick. I just hope it races good. That's the only thing. Well, it can look cool as hell, but what kind of shit are we gonna see on track?
There's nothing we can do really until Daytona, Yeah. And then we can hear about testing and whatnot, but when it comes to Daytona, that's gonna be
just like the current aero package. They went and tested it at Vegas and it was badass and crazy. They were 4 wide for 12 laps,
right?
And then now 2 years later, we're all bitching.
Right. So we'll see. Come Daytona, we'll see how it looks, and then we're gonna have to wait till after that because Daytona's a super speedway. So then we're gonna have to.
Once we get in the thick of next season, we'll have some ideas.
Right. Yeah. Atlanta could probably give us some ideas. Moving on to Darlington, though, this is one of my favorite races of the year. Not
Dude,
only
it
just
is.
going to the race, it's one of my favorite tracks to attend, like top 5 tracks
I
to
was
attend.
thinking today at work, I was like, because you remember, like, we should go to Darlington, but like whoever came up with like we should do like a throwback thing, like they do that in other sports, like let's do a throwback, like we'll do throwback schemes, people can
Well,
dress up, the whole thing.
didn't they do that before they put
They
Darlington back on the schedule?
like
They tried, I remember.
they did like Jeff Gordon did a tribute to his old car at Bristol. And I think that may have kind of like sparked some things.
Right.
But every now and then
For some
somebody
reason, I
would run like
remember.
a retro car.
Yeah, maybe
or
it was just
something.
random then.
It was like
Yeah,
random, but the whole idea, like the whole weekend, old logos, fucking broadcast is old school.
genius.
It literally like
They were like, what do NASCAR fans like? They like old shit because
Yeah.
they don't like what's going on right now. They never will.
No, Nathan's probably about to say it. He says it best. They want something different, but they hate change or whatever he says.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way. Yeah, if I'm like a marketing guy, I'm like, okay, what do NASCAR fans like? All of everything that was old in NASCAR, they love.
Yeah,
and they also like paint schemes, like die casts. They love paint schemes for whatever reason.
Oh yeah,
NASCAR fans are obsessed with it.
Well,
Boom.
and it's key too. Like every year, you're gonna have this one paint scheme runoff special throwback.
Right,
that's a dice cast sell. Whoever's that guy's fan, you're gonna get the die cast. Like boom, boom, boom. It's just sales, merch.
Right.
And it's fun to watch. It's fun to be there. The whole weekend is fun. I really hate them.
Great track. Yeah. I mean, we've said on this podcast so many times. We've described Darlington and how much we love it. So I won't get into all that again. But yeah,
not this year. Maybe we need to make a Darlington trip next year.
This is great.
See the exchange and the way things are. Yeah, that's it. He always says that shit.
That's a really good quote. Yeah. This year it was just different because they moved it to Mother's Day. It was Labor Day weekend.
I get it though. I get it that sponsors were pissed because they like last year it was the playoff race, but throwbacks, and this is like the big Gambino. The sponsors are here. They're in the playoffs, and hey, we can't really run the paint scheme we pay for. We got to run this throwback shit y'all are wanting us to do. Okay. So it's like, hey, let's get the throwback weekend out of the playoffs. So then we come back for the playoffs, get what you pay for kind of
right.
deal.
Just personally, I liked the Labor Day thing because my parents live in Myrtle, so I would go out and visit them. Yeah, I would go out and visit them in Myrtle. It's like an hour and a half drive, I think.
I would have been fine with this being a Saturday night race. If this was a Saturday night race, I would have been even more moved to like make this happen.
Yeah, Nathan, you're right. It was always the first race of the playoffs, or at least it was last year. I remember that for sure.
Yeah, last year it was the first race.
The first race of the playoffs, which
I think
was kind of cool.
Before that, it was like 2 races before the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was. It was right before the playoffs. Right before that.
Yeah.
I've always liked going to Darlington, like I said, I liked it on the Labor Day weekend just because I could fly out, see my parents, whatever, do all that stuff for Labor Day.
Yeah.
But I already have Monday off work. So, like, I wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's a selfish thing for me. I'm sure
last year, me and Justin ran out. We ran out there, like, Sunday morning. We woke up early, went out there, got to see the truck race and the cup race, drove back. It was off Monday. It was sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a badass race to go to. It's like going to a local track, and watching Cup Series race cars.
I mean, it's not. That's another thing. It's like it's just weird to say. I kind of liked Darlington only having one race because it kind of made it more special. Yeah. And now they're gonna do a throwback, and then we're gonna go back, and it's gonna be like Darlington, but it's like normal.
I agree. I
think throwback one-off made it more special. But now it's like, I'm like, and then I'm like, well, maybe I could make the second Darlington, but then I'm like, it ain't gonna be the same if it's
not the same.
It's not gonna be the same.
100% not the same. But I get NASCAR's reasoning because they're like, Darlington sells out every fucking year, and it's not a huge stadium or grandstands, but it's gonna sell out. What does it hold? Like, I don't know, 50 to 70 probably.
I think it's like 70,000, 70, around there, 70,000.
And it's going to sell out. I mean, Nathan, I know he was there that year during the rain delay, but even after the rain for like a 4-hour delay, it still looked sold out. I mean, everybody waited 4 hours in the middle of the night. Yeah. I drove back to Myrtle and then came back. I mean, it was crazy. It was, I mean, it was awesome. It really showed you like, damn, this is the heart of NASCAR. This is the fan base for NASCAR. These people fucking love
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah, like
know,
the picture you sent me of you and Sam, like I was like, oh, I remember Nathan. I forgot what I
waiting in
had
the
going
rain.
on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember Nathan and Justin went, and like I had the opportunity to go, but I can't remember what it was, work or something. Something didn't work out where I couldn't go, and I think it was I went to Daytona the week before or something.
did they
And
wait? Did they wait out the rain?
they wait and went. Were at the
Everybody,
whole race, but
everybody waited.
I remember I didn't get to go, and then like
That
waiting in
sucked.
the rain. I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad I'm at home.
Right. But no, it was cool being there just
Yeah,
to experience that, like, of everybody kind of
that was
waiting
the
it
one
out.
Brad K
And then,
won, wasn't it? You don't even remember.
yes, I believe. Well, I've been to like 4 of them. I mean, they kind of bleed into each other. Um, damn, I've been to a lot of Brad K wins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I have too. I've
Actually,
been to a
now I'm
lot of
thinking about
Denny
it. I'm
wins, and
like,
I've been to a lot of
fuck,
Brad
was
wins.
that? Yeah.
Like I've been to more Brad and Denny and Kyle wins and Jimmy Johnson wins. I have Kevin like by double or triple that.
Yeah.
I've probably been to like
So,
10 Brad K wins.
so anyway, I guess Darlington, I was thinking this year specifically, it's kind of weird because this is a good chance for either Harvick or Hamlin to get their first victory in Darlington, which sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but I think they both have what, like 3 victories there each. They both won there a lot.
Kevin has 3.
Yeah,
Kevin
I think
has 3.
Hamlin has 3.
Dude, I remember it was it was like 17 or 18 or something. Hamlin, like 40 to go, misses pit road and then comes back, and we're like, well, he's done. And then comes back on fuel or strategy or whatever and wins the damn race. And I was like, ugh,
Yep.
no.
So they both are good at this track. This is a track that they both definitely can win at, and it's just weird to think that we've come all the way to Darlington and neither of those drivers have a win yet. And this is not normal for me to have to be like, maybe Harvick and Hamlin can pull out a victory finally for Darlington.
I'm not, like, being the Kevin fan, I'm not even like nervous or worried. I mean, it was 2017. Kevin didn't win until June at Sonoma. And
yeah,
like,
that's true.
It was like whatever. And he
It's kind of like Chase, how he came in late.
He only won 2 races and still made the Final 4 that year. Like,
yeah. Also, we are getting to that. We are both going to be doing.
Oh,
we're both going to be doing that at the line, since there's no guests this time.
Yep.
And also, Kyle Busch is good here, so I feel like,
dude, and he's got a lot of momentum from last weekend.
That's what I wanted to say.
I'm nervous about that.
It's going to be interesting to see if he's like now on a hot streak and like Kyle Busch is back, or if he just kind of is a bust at this track and everyone's like forgets about Kyle.
Watch him have a loose wheel and finish like P21, and he will not even be in the headlines. Like they won't even talk. That'll be old news. Or he's going to lead some laps and get a stage win and finish 3rd, and they're going to be like, the fucking 18 is hot.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, this
is
who
I'm or got
definitely a race that could happen.
It's like the 1.5 mile ringer so-called this year is like Kyle Larson, dude. This is like right in his alley, and now he's in a fast car and he's killing mile.
All right, let's save this for picks because now you're getting into some of my shit.
I'm just brainstorming.
Now you're taking away some of my notes that I was preparing for today.
Mother's Day Cinco de Mayo's.
Since we didn't have a guest for this episode because we had so much to talk about.
You know what?
I put notes together, and now you're ruining my fucking notes.
Some of us work today, so
I did it while I was working. That's how efficient I am.
I made up our at the line picks on a tailgate.
I could tell. I was reading them like, these aren't as bad.
Speaking of at the line,
these are not as good.
Let's jump right in it. Wow, I mean, I can make them on the fly. I don't even need notes.
Well, let's do throwbacks first.
Oh, you want to do throwbacks first?
Let's do throwbacks, then at the line, and then our 2 picks to wrap it up.
Boom. Get it, dude.
So what I wanted to do is the top 5 coolest throwback paint schemes and the top 5 ugliest paint schemes.
Of the Cup Series.
Of the Cup Series, because Truck and Xfinity both had fucking sweet paint schemes throughout. Yeah. I definitely want to mention that. I loved the paint schemes in both those series. Cup, not so much. This was one of the worst seasons I've seen for Darlington.
I just think they need to get more organized. Like, they just need to, like...
Well,
You know,
they
pick a year, pick a damn.
I
Something.
didn't see it. Usually they do pick a year. Usually,
Well,
or
yeah,
an
I remember
era.
they picked like we're gonna
They
do
pick
this
an era.
era, and like everybody
Right.
was just picking whatever, and they were
They're
like,
like, nah,
okay,
we're just gonna do what we
yeah,
want.
whatever.
And so I think NASCAR's just given up on it.
Yeah,
And
whatever, dude.
yeah,
We're almost made ours anyway.
it doesn't look. Yeah, this year was weak, dude. This year was really weak.
There's some okay ones, and there's some like, what the hell is
Right.
this?
Well, let me start off. Let me do my top 5 best. You do your top 5 best.
All right, and we have
I'll
not
go
talked
through.
about this, so let it ride.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't talked about this. So my top 5 coolest throwback paint schemes. This is not in any particular order. I want to mention that. But the first one I have listed here is Tyler Reddick, and at first glance,
This is your
paint scheme-
favorite?
these are my top 5s. Best.
It's from 5 to first.
No. I said no particular order.
Oh.
There's just 5.
I was like, what the?
This would probably be number 5. It's almost. I like this one almost more as a joke because it's so like in your face and a little bit much, but it's throwing it back to Marty Robbins, which is fucking tight. The first year that NASCAR is going back to Nashville, so it just works out perfect. And then his sponsor on the hood is for a country music album. I'm like,
yeah, that kind of threw me off. I was like, country music album, what the fuck?
Right. And I listened to the song and I was like, nah, I didn't really like it. But it's Marty Robbins. So I was like, that's fucking cool. That's one of the greatest Americans ever to live. A legendary country music singer, a NASCAR driver, and he hated communism. He wrote a bunch of songs that were anti-communist. I was like, that's the most American motherfucker to ever walk he wore a cowboy hat. Be more American. I dare you. After that, Chase Elliott. I hate to bring it up. It's Chase Elliott, but
sexy, dude.
But
it's sexy.
yeah, Hooters.
And the fucking ad they did with him and the fucking
exactly.
Like it was badass.
He went all out this year, which is what usually you see a couple other guys do. He was one of the only guys to go all out this year. Hooters, in my opinion, like Alex Bowman prior, and I mean, there's for whatever reason nobody else went all out this year. Hooters is up there with like
stepping it up, dude.
They're up there with like Mountain Dew and like
and they've been advertising a lot too. Like
as some of the all-time NASCAR sponsors, like they're up there. And so to have a throwback Hooters paint scheme is great. And let's see, what else did I write in my notes? Yeah, that's the best Hooters paint scheme like ever run. You know, if I'm thinking like an old school throwback Hooters paint scheme for NASCAR, that's one I have in mind. So the fact that they were able to use the same sponsor, you know, and run it back to one of the best paint schemes they've ever had, that was awesome. After that, I have Michael McDowell. And like essentially his paint scheme was what you want to do for like a throwback paint scheme. They took a recognizable paint scheme and ran with it. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say his paint scheme was my number one.
That was your number one?
So far that one is clean, sexy, the gold wheels, like the Bill Elliott throwback, like it's what I love is when sponsors go along with it and like change their logo change the font. Like
I understand
it's so sexy, dude.
I understand you can't get the same sponsor, like it doesn't always work like that. But I do appreciate when other sponsors are like, yeah, we're down. Fuck it.
But I love when sponsors do. Like there's one car I'll mention here in a minute if you don't, that like they get the same sponsor on to jump on for the race for the throwback, and it's like, oh my god!
I think I know what you're going to talk about, and
you know what I'm talking about.
I think I hate that car.
You can go to hell.
Yeah. So Michael McDowell did throwback perfect. I think. Yes. I mean, he did exactly what you're supposed to. You take a classic old recognizable paint scheme. I wasn't even like I don't care about Bill Elliott, but I know that fucking paint scheme.
Yeah,
everybody knows it. And you ran with it, and that's what you should do. So, like, congratulations, Michael McDowell, having a great season all around. After that, Anthony Alfredo. I think he probably had...
It's clean as fuck. I hope he's running the chrome wheels. I haven't seen an actual picture of the car, but I hope he's running the chrome wheels.
Yeah, I mean, I said on Twitter, I think that was, like, the one to beat because I love that paint scheme. I mean, it's another example of, like, they didn't get Hardys, but... They did the paint scheme well. It looks like the car.
Yeah.
And then just to wrap it up, Austin Dillon. You
can't go wrong with gold and black, dude. It's sexy.
Right. He almost always has like he's always in the top 5 for best throwback paint schemes. He's just, he has the 3 car, so it's easy for him.
Well, I think Truex didn't do Bass Pro this year. Auto Owners was on the car, so this was like, RCR's like, oh, we're taking Bass Pro then. Fuck you.
Right, and it's not his best throwback paint scheme.
No, but it's
still solid. And compared to the low level of competition this year,
I love the old Bass Pro logo.
Yep. And I was gonna say the other person other than Austin Dillon that always has the best paint schemes was Brad Kay, and he was just relevant this year for whatever reason.
Dude, I can't remember his for some reason.
It's just like I think he's just running like a Verizon wireless car. It's not like a.
Oh shit! That's one thing that pisses me off when it's throwback weekend.
They don't throw it back,
and they just run the regular scheme. Kurt Busch.
It's like, why?
Monsters just do it, and they're like, shout out to 2019 win, and it's like, right. Dude, like, why would you not take this one-off opportunity?
Right, it's so simple. Just have fun with it. So, yeah, that's my top 5. What's your top 5?
I mean, just right along with you, Michael McDowell is my favorite so far. We've yet to see a couple released. But right now, as of now, I'll take the 34 as one of my favorites.
Are they releasing anymore? I don't think aren't they done?
Kevin Harvick has not had one yet.
Is he running a throwback paint scheme?
I don't know, but Mobil 1 is a sponsor for the race. There's a lot to choose from. The 21 is yet to release one. But the 38 looked really good. I really like the 38. Another one of my favorites, let me find it real quick. I had a picture saved, was the 9. And one you didn't mention was in my top 5 was Corey LaJoie's. Shout out Alan Kowicki, 7 Xerox scheme. Same sponsor, same paint scheme. It's just to a T what Alan Kowicki ran. Like, I love that car. I mean,
yeah, I'm definitely about to talk about that paint scheme, but for different reasons.
The 24 car was pretty clean. Like, I love when they change the number font. It's one thing when like they do the scheme and they keep their number font, but when they change the whole number and all the logos, I really like that. There's several in here that can go in bottom 5.
So you didn't actually have a list.
I was just reading off 5 of my favorites. I did like the 48 as well.
So we'll move on.
List. You just said 5 random ones.
I have a list right here I'm reading off of.
You said no particular order. I just gave you no particular order. My 5. Boom.
I created a list. You just randomly just now looked through them and went, I like this one. I don't like this one. That's what just happened.
I was looking earlier and I looked right now.
All right. We'll move on
Go to hell.
The top 5 ugliest paint schemes.
Oh, I got one right here for you.
No particular order. It's not this is the ugliest. This is all right. So yeah, let's just talk about Ricky. I'm just about to talk about that. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car. What is that shit, dude? That is the ugliest thing.
What kills me is they post a picture of like Ricky Craven's scheme.
Exactly.
And then his scheme, they don't look anything alike. They totally missed it here. They totally missed it here. It was terrible.
If they wouldn't even mention that, they're like, no, it's just a random like Tide car we're running. Like, then I wouldn't care so much. The car itself is not necessarily good looking, but I wouldn't really care one way or the other. The fact that they tried to make it seem like that was based on like a throwback paint scheme, one that everybody knows, by the way, a very recognizable paint scheme. I was just blown away. They were like history meets modern or some shit like that. I was like, that's not how it works.
It was terrible. It's like a cool scheme if you just did this like one-off deal, but it's like this misses the mark completely.
Right. That's not how it works. You can't do that. After that, Joey Logano, because I just don't think
I don't mind it. I don't mind.
I don't like it. I don't think you should throw back to like F1 or Indy cars. It's just the paint schemes don't work the same way.
I feel like this is similar to one he had a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't like when you try to pull from like open wheel cars or something completely different because they just don't look as good on different cars. Yeah, like you were saying, you have to design your paint scheme for that car. So I don't like when they do that. Throw it back to stock cars. Kyle Larson.
I don't like the 5.
Did you see what it was throwing him back to?
No, I think I saw something.
His first go-kart victory.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? It was like his helmet. We're throwing back to his helmet or some shit. It's like, no, do a paint scheme.
I don't care about his first go-kart victory. No. Like, it means nothing. The one person that did throw it back to an early victory in their season was Jimmy Johnson when he threw it back to his like Baja truck victory, and it looked badass. It actually worked. They had the lightning bolts on it. That worked. This does not. It is
Dude,
bland.
Yours are like right hand in hand with mine. I'm gonna say it for you. The 18. I feel like they're fucking lazy at this point.
It's not on mine, but yeah, that one's not good either.
They're fucking lazy at this
boring.
point, and it's like, dude, there's so many like old school cool Skittles, M&Ms, whatever, interstate batteries. Do some Bobby the Bonnie or something. Like it's like every year they're like, we did a brown 18 number for y'all. This was this year's M&M's car, and I get it's M&M's. It's kind of hard to do. They just it's like, goddamn, get some creativity in y'all's booth.
So that was another thing I was going to mention about Kyle Larson. He's in the 5 car. Terry Labonte.
You know how many 5?
We have so many Kellogg's. Like fucking Tony the Tiger. Yeah. What are you doing? Some of the best paint schemes.
Shit. Everybody's doing Mark Martin.
There's so many good paint schemes in that car. It blows my mind. It's almost it's like the rest of his paint schemes and how he's just sponsored by Hendrick. It's so bland and boring this year for Kyle Larson. He's tearing it up on the track, but he looks boring as fuck while he does it. The other one that I think is bad was Corey LaJoie's. I'm the only one that has said that. Everyone on Twitter is blowing up
Corey
about it.
LaJoie for Eric Almirola's. I know it's a Mark Martin paint scheme. To me, the old car and this car are ugly as shit.
I just think if you're going to throw it back to Alan Kowicki, there's 3 of them this season. Which is there something I'm missing?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm seeing a lot of Mark Martin and a lot of Alan Kowicki.
I don't understand it. Like I
get my Earnhardt? Do it, goddamn Goodrich throwback.
I just want Earnhardt and Rusty like every single season. And Gordon. But yeah, there's 3 of them, and this just is the least recognizable of I think of all his paint schemes. I think when I think of him, I think of Hooters and I think of his Hardee's paint scheme. And so it was almost like this was like the 3rd one that just kind of was there that they were like, meh. So for me, it's not like it's the ugliest paint scheme. It's just I think you got the short end of the stick for those 3 paint schemes. But to wrap it up, I gotta go. Probably controversial here. Bubba Wallace.
I get it. Like, cool. We get it, Bubba. I think it's a lazy throwback. I think it's lame.
It doesn't look anything like Wendell Scott's car.
Well, the number border is different. Completely different color. Wendell Scott's
colors are
blue.
different.
This was orange. Yeah, I'm like, dude, y'all are just pathetic. Like, this is lazy.
It doesn't look anything like his car. I know I'm not supposed to say it's the ugliest paint scheme, but it looks not. I don't know if it's necessarily the ugliest, but it looks nothing like Wendell Scott's car. So what are you doing? Like root is all over it, and it just doesn't look anything.
This one's for the haters.
If you want to see that paint scheme done well, David Reagan, 2014 Martinsville, did that as a throwback paint scheme.
With the facts.
Did that as a throwback paint scheme, and it looks identical to Wendell Scott's paint scheme. And that's how you do a throwback paint scheme. So everybody look that up if you think I'm crazy. I'm not saying I love the fact that they did a Wendell Scott throwback paint scheme, even though his paint scheme's kind of boring. But that's cool. I like when you throw it back to recognizable drivers, right? That's the whole point. So throwing it back to Wendell Scott, I'm like, fuck yeah, I love that. Make it actually look like his paint scheme. It doesn't look like his car. It's stupid. I guess to wrap it up, you want to give me the at the line?
As we jump straight into at the line, let's get it, dude. Are you ready, Matt?
I'm ready.
All right. I'm going to throw it in. We're going to end this baby fast and loud. At the line, just me and you. First round, we're going, who you got? Oh, what?
I'm going to have to look that up now.
First round, we're going to go, who you got? I mean, these two, one's at the bottom. One's got a good team with a shitty car. Cole Custer versus Anthony Alfredo. Who's taking the lead?
All right. So I'll just read off my notes here because I picked these earlier and I wrote them down. I put Custer. And I said Custer because he has a top 10 finish this year.
Yeah.
And he's done well in relatively well at Darlington. Or no, he got that win in Darlington. That's right. He got that. Didn't he get the win in Darlington when Denny Hamlin he failed a post-race inspection?
Like in Xfinity?
Yeah, it was Xfinity. Yeah. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Cup.
like a couple years ago, I think.
Yeah, you remember that?
It was Custer. It was Custer. Yeah,
it was.
Right.
He came in second.
He ran second. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going Custer.
Okay.
That wasn't even my notes. I just thought about that actually. Yeah.
Is like, I just feel like Custer is, Alfredo's just kind of there. He's doing the best he can in that 38 car.
Right.
But Custer is like doing terrible in the 41. He's got like one top 10 at Talladega. But I just feel like they're about even.
They
One's
are
in
about
really
even.
good equipment, one's in kind of shitty equipment, and they're kind of evening out.
Custer has a top 10 finish.
I know.
He's above him in.
I'm
He's
gonna
above him
take
in
Custer
the.
as well. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take
he's above
Custer
him
as
in
well
the points.
as a Stewart Haas affiliate. Alfredo just hasn't done anything to impress me. I'm sure it was just more like, hey, we need somebody to drive this shit. John Hunter left us.
There you go.
Alfredo.
It's another driver that
Yep,
maybe
we'll
careers
never
ruined.
see nothing else.
We'll see. Next season he might have a
Agreed.
chance.
Let's go to round 2. Christopher Bell or Alex Bowman. I feel like this was pretty even. This was a good one. They both have wins.
Bowman finished second there last year, right?
Ooh, did he?
So I'll go Bowman. Yeah, he got a second place finish there. I think it was last year.
Remember that.
So I'm gonna go Alex Bowman.
You know, that 20 car has win here though. Christopher Bell, I feel like he's still getting still getting the reins under him. Alex Bowman is super hot right now. I mean, I know he had some troubles at Kansas. Them Toyotas show out here at Darlington. Just because you picked Bowman, I'm picking Bell.
Okay, well, you agree with Nathan, so
yeah,
just
that's
let that
terrible.
sink in.
That never happens. So I'm going to take Bell just because, the kid's good and it's a Gibbs Toyota. Round 3, I kind of thought this one was ironic. They're both running like dog shit. I mean, Chastain has some strategy last week. We're going to do Chastain versus Kurt Busch. Somebody please
insulting
get a top 10.
It was kind of insulting to Kurt Busch, I think.
Well, he did it to him damn self.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he is running like shit, but I'm still gonna go Kurt Busch. He has run well in Darlington. He's had plenty of top 10 finishes here. I think it's tough because this year he sucks so much. Based on like his past though,
dude,
I want to go Kurt.
Is literally irrelevant. Like
I've seen him run well enough that I think he's still above Chastain in the points. I'm pretty positive.
I haven't looked at points lately. I'm
pretty positive he's still above him, and I've seen him run really well at Darlington, so I'm going to go Kurt.
Ooh, okay. I'll take Ross because Ross is a gambling man. He makes strategy. I mean, it's go for broke at this point. I don't even see Kurt on TV anymore. I'm taking my man Ross. Y'all can go.
Damn it. I agreed with Nathan.
These guys have been making little splashes as of last weekend. Matty D versus Tyler Reddick.
Yeah, this was a tough one.
I thought this was a toughie.
I'm gonna go Reddick just because I think this is a track that he can run well at.
I was leaning Reddick because remember last year the High Line, the old tires, right in his wheelhouse.
That's
Matty
exactly
D's got some momentum right now, though.
He does.
I don't know if he can close out at Darlington. I think it fits more Reddick.
Exactly. I think it fits Reddick's driving style a little bit better. So I'm gonna go Reddick.
That's kind of how I lean. Yeah. I like this one as a little spiciness we had last year in the playoffs. Who we taking?
I know. I liked this one a lot. This was my favorite.
Chase Elliott or Martin Truex Jr.?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Truex. I think he's better at Darlington than Chase Elliott is.
I feel like last year Chase Elliott turned it on because he needed to. Like it was like almost pressure makes him thrive. I think Truex is more consistent. How many times have we seen Truex dominate Darlington or lead till 10 to go and fuck up?
Right.
And Truex was coming like hard last year when Chase Elliott just like totally screwed up. I know it's kind of Truex's fault. He dived in there, whatever. I got to take the guy with 2 wins this year. I'm going Truex as well.
Yeah. I think just in general, they're both good drivers, but I think Truex is better at this track, honestly, overall. Yeah. Throughout his career, he's been pretty consistently good here.
We'll say this, and Chase will end up winning the damn race.
He'll win this fucking race. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just to wrap it up, the picks, lock of the week, and wild card pick. Do you want to start it off? I've been starting off all of these. You have a lock of the week at least?
Just because fuck it, we got second last week. Lock of the week, you're taking the 4-car, Kevin Harvick, 2 wins at Darlington last year. We're coming back. We're going hard. We don't know what the throwback is. I'm taking the 4.
I don't think he's running a throwback.
Well,
it's already Thursday. What do you mean? Like
maybe? Well, I don't know. The other year they did Big Buck Hunter and it was trash, and they released it on like Saturday.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked that paint team, but it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Throwback. I like the car, but it wasn't a throwback. It was pathetic.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just as a random, as a paint scheme, I was like, I can fuck with that.
Yeah,
just because I can destroy Big Buck Hunter. I'm gonna go Kyle Larson.
Oh, see, that was my other pick, but I had to go with my gut.
I'm gonna go Kyle Larson from the lock of the week. He hasn't got a win here, but I think he's only finished outside the top 10 like once. Like he's good here. He hasn't got a win here, but he's in the best equipment of his entire life. And he's had a lot of really good finishes here. So he's good equipment, has the momentum, drives well here. Kyle Larson's my lock of the week. Are you talking? Because I can't hear you.
Shit, my bad. I hit the mute. Wild card?
Wild card.
Austin Dillon.
Okay. Any reason?
That's what I said. Playoff race, second last year. He's hunting down Kevin in the last 3 laps with all the calamity. Boom. Look at Nathan. I'm taking Austin Dillon. I mean, he had some speed. He can get around this track. He's always hunting right there in the top 10. And I think he could get it done.
So I kind of cheated here. I just said RCR for my wild card.
Oh, wow.
Because I agree.
Ironic.
I agree. Austin Dillon, he got second here. He can run well here. He's had a little bit of momentum this season. He's kind of right on the outskirts looking, always around like the top 5, top 10. And then Tyler Reddick is just one of those drivers. I'm waiting for him to get his first win. And I think this is a track that lends well to his driving style. So I just threw out RCR because I was trying to pick my fucking wild card and it came down to those 2 drivers. I'm like, you know what? It's the same team.
I totally agree with you. Like, I wanted to say Reddick, but we already said Reddick in our pick or at the line picks. So I was trying to say like, Austin Dillon's good here. He had a second place last year.
Yep.
But I could I'll let you have it. I'll let you have RCR as a double pick, and you can just have more odds than me.
I'm an RCR fan. What am I gonna? I mean, nobody's cashed in on the T-shirt offer.
Yeah, I don't even know if anyone's fact.
For all I know, somebody's got 100% out there for the like that.
I don't even know if anyone's even like remembering that we did picks.
I keep telling every guest we have, I'm like, if you get 100% right at the line, maybe I should start doing that with fans. If y'all, honestly, anybody that's listening, I'll send you a fucking shirt.
We could do like post the picks and be like, pick 5
underneath
in the
this
comments.
tweet, like on the tweet.
Yeah,
on
pick
Twitter.
5 in the comments, and if you get them all right, we'll see.
Yeah, YouTube comments or on Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, just on the tweet that it's on, you could just put you have to listen to the at the line, like the picks that Dakota went through.
Ooh, yeah. So then they have to listen to it.
Well, if they've gotten this far, I think they've fucking listened. But
right,
you have to listen to those and just do your picks. And if you are 100% right, I'll send you a shirt.
Yeah, that's a good one. We need to make this happen.
I know. I don't think anybody's
sponsored by
got it.
Yeti Coolers.
Sponsored by Yeti Coolers. Here we are.
Hey,
Chairgatin, officially sponsored by Yeti Coolers. I believe if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. So everybody go buy Yeti Coolers now.
Hell yeah.
With that link though, don't buy it with anything else. Just that fucking link. Never buy Yeti without that link.
If you don't, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's a great week, man. Next gen cars out. Darlington's here. Throwback paint schemes. Yeti is sponsoring us. Everything's going good.
We're blowing up. We're going to the fucking Mars, bro.
Yeah, we're going past the moon. Everybody's like, oh, to the moon. The moon? The moon? We've already been to the moon, bitch. We're going to fucking Mars.
Elon Musk. Tesla is creating a cup car. It's a little sneak peek. I didn't want to release it here, but Elon Musk is a big NASCAR fan.
And I'm finishing my beer.
Hey.
All right. And that'll do it.
All right, y'all.
I know there was no guest, but I think it was a fun episode.
Yeah, we actually went farther than I expected.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you
y'all next week.
Peace.
Throwback.